This is an extremely troubling report, but I feel obligated to share it. Ivana Trump is casting a shadow over Donald Trump even from the grave. Here's why. In her recent interview, Ghislaine Maxwell briefly mentioned her connection to Ivana, a small detail in a 300 pages transcript, but one that stood out to me after a year of studying the ties between Donald Trump, Ghislaine Max, and Jeffrey Epstein. The key point is this: Aviana and Ghislaine Maxwell were not just acquaintances, they were extremely close. They shared stuff, spent time together and had a deep friendship. According to short statement from absent victims like Maria and Annie Farmer, absent even joked that during Trump's divorce, Donald got Amanda and I got Ghislaine. Remember, Epson and Galim were romantically involved for years before splitting around 2004 to 2005. All of this raises some very unsettling question about Amana's life and death. We all remember that Amana's death in 2022 was shared in mystery. The obvious story claimed she fell down the stair in her Manhattan townhouse. Yet, by all accounts, she had no trouble navigating those some stairs before that incident. She was then quickly buried in a back lot of Trump Bedminster golf course, a move that conventionally allowed Trump to claim tax breaks by designating the property as a cemetery. Beyond the financial angle, it's unsettling and downright girlish that he's buried his first wife there, especially after multiple marriages, and that he had full control over that decision. We have previously reported, originally broken by Daily Mail, Donald Trump allowed Amania site to fall into completely neglect that overgrown grass and shrubs covering the area. The scene looked disturbing, deeply disrespectful, and yet we heard nothing from Ivanka or the rest of Trump children regarding the treatment of their mother grave. So let's break this down step by step. The network backed the receipt to show exactly how Amama is hunting Donald Trump from the grave. First, let's dive into Ghislaine Maxwell interview transcript. I have reviewed all 300 pages, but on page 104 and 105, here what stood out. When Ghislaine Maxwell was asked about her connection to Donald Trump, she responded, "My father liked him very much, and he really liked his wife as well because we're both Czechoslovakian. As far as I am concerned, President Trump was always very cordial and very kind to me. I just want to say that I admire his extraordinary achievement in becoming president. I like him, and I always liked him. That the sum and substance of my entire relationship with him. Yeah, false, false. Let's be clear. You were convicted of sex trafficker, underage girl, some of whom were recruited from Mar-a-Lago. You were not, you are not just acquaintances. You are extremely close to Donald Trump and best friend with Ivana. A jury heard all of them, and found you guilty. You could have testified during your trial, but you did not. In fact, the Department of Justice made it clear, and the judge agreed that you are a lifelong liar. Now, let's dig a deeper. I am going to share what one of Epson's sex trafficking victim and about what Jeffrey Epson told her and what she personally observed regarding Ivana Trump's relation with Ghislaine Maxwell. After that, I will bring out more receipts here what Maria Farmer, a server or Epson trafficking ring, had to say. Roll the clip.
Ivana Trump was like her best friend.
And with
Ivana.
yeah, with Ivana, then yeah, describe that she'd be there. How
That
often?
was creepy. So at the time, Ivana had this. She was doing QVC, selling jewelry, right, online. I mean, on TV. She was like a QVC queen. It's Donald Trump, and Donald Trump was always hanging out with Epstein, and Ivana was always hanging out with Giuliani.
Right.
And Ivana she would say, we're going to go pick up Ivana, or Ivana's going to come. And we'd ride in the car with her. And I remember one occasion where Ghislaine's like, I have to get out right now. And she went and got a number from a child, and I saw in a uniform.
Yeah. And
everybody knew what they were doing. Everybody who surrounded them knew exactly what they were doing.
And but how often? Did you go for rides often with her and Ivana?
Yes.
And would she pick up girls all the time?
Yes. She didn't bring them in the car. She would get their phone numbers.
Right.
But she would drive by schools.
Right. So
as they got out.
So would she? Yeah. And what's Ivana doing at this point? What
sitting in the car. And I'll never forget because one day I was really weirded out by what had happened. I was really weirded out. So I'm sorry, my phone's beeping in. Just give it a second. But anyway, I got to go in a second. But I just wanted to tell you, I was weirded out when they were driving around with this. So Ghislaine to shut me up gave me one of those cheap bracelets Ivana was selling on QVC and said, Ivana wants you to have this. And I threw it in the garbage.
That was a Maria Farmer speaking. Now let's hear Ghislaine Maxwell in her own words during her profession session, where she continues to lie as always. Remember, the Department of Justice officially labeled her lifelong liar, and sitting in the room was none other than Trump's former criminal defense attorney Ted Bland. Roll the clip.
What did you observe as far as President Trump and his relationship with you or Mr. Epstein?
Well, I just want to say for my relationship with President Trump, relationship's a big word, but I just want to say that I met him, or I believe I may have, because of my father in the 90s. And as far as I'm concerned, President Trump was always very cordial and very kind to me. And I just want to say that I admire his extraordinary achievement in becoming the president now. And I like him. And I've always liked him. So that is the sum and substance of my entire relationship with him.
I mean, it's hard to imagine laying it on any thicker if you're talking about the person who has the power to pardon you. She wants a pardon, and the only person who can give it is Trump. So maybe that's why she's saying how extraordinary his achievement is, and how she's always liked him.
And just to be clear, let's note a few things. Ghislaine Maxwell flat out defended any involvement in sex trafficking. She claimed Epstein never did anything wrong, insisted that all the girls were of age, and even suggested that the only reason Epstein surrounded himself with young women, again she stressed young women, not minor, was because he enjoyed sharing music with them. According to her, it kept him feeling young to hear their opinion about newborns. That's literally what she said. So in her version of reality, she did nothing wrong. Epstein did nothing wrong. This is who we're dealing with. But then Ghislaine added another statement worth nothing. I have never seen Donald Trump do anything inappropriate. Now, let's take a look at what Ivana herself said in her deposition. But first, here's Ghislaine Maxwell that claim. Roll the clip.
I don't recall ever seeing him in his house, for instance. I actually never saw the president in any type of massage setting. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
All right. Now let's return Ivana own words. This comes from her 1993 book titled The Lost Tycoon. In it, Ivana described what she says happened to her at the hands of Donald Trump. And remember, Ivana and Ghislaine Maxwell were very close friends. So it's almost certain Ghislaine would have known this story. Ivana Trump was relaxing in the master bedroom of the Trump Tower triplex, thinking about an upcoming trip to Haiti. The trip was not just for leisure. It was tied to Donald's business dealing. She planned to travel with Lauren Ettes, the widow of Mark Ettes, a former Trump game division executive who died tragically in a helicopter crash. Ivana hoped the trip would help them both cope with that loss. Suddenly, according to Ivana, Donald burst into the room, furious and shouting, absentees, your doctor has ruined me. He screamed. Then in fit or rage, he allegedly threw Amana onto the bed, pinned her arms back, and yanked her by her hair. He grabbed a section of her hair, the same area that matches the spot where he recently had a scalp reduction procedure. In a fit of rage, Donald being yanked out her hair by the handful, seemingly determined to make her feel the pain he believes he endured. Aviana cries and screams as strands of her golden hair scatter across the bed, but it does not end there. He tears off her clothes, unzips his pants, and forces himself on her for the first time in more than 16 months. Aviana is terrified. This is not lovemaking, it's a violent assault. Later, in conversation with her closest confidants, she makes it clear he raped me. When Donald is finished, Aviana bolts from the bed, runs upstairs to her mother's room, locks the door, and sobs through the night. The next morning, summoning every ounce of courage, she returned to the master bedroom only to find Donald Trump waiting for her. He makes it unmistakably clear that he knows what he did the night before. As Aviana stares in horror at the clumps of her hair scattered across the bed, Donald glares at her and loudly asks, "Does it hurt?" Fast forward to April 7, 1993, just before the first printing of The Lost Icon was set for release. The publisher, who had met with Donald Trump and his legal team 2 months earlier, received a statement from Trump attorneys. It read, "The statement by Ivana does not contradict or invalidate any information in this book. It is included her to fully express different point of view regarding an important event." Amana's own statement provided during her divorce deposition follows. During a deposition given by me in connection with my matrimonial case, I stated that my husband had raped me. I wish to clarify that on one occasion during 1989, Mr. Trump and I had marital relation in which he behaved very differently toward me than he had during our marriage. As a woman, I felt violated because his love and tenderness he normally exhibited was absent. I refer to this as a rape, but I do not want my words to be interpreted in literal or criminal sense. Any contrary conclusion would be incorrect or unfortunate interpretation of my statement. I do not want it to taken speculatively on misconstrued by the press. That was her full statement, which remains available in the book of anyone to read. No, let's shift to the clip from the era. Donald Trump speaking about marriage while sitting with Ivana. His word, "Ivana does exactly what I tell her to do." Play this clip.
Do you all argue?
Yes, but not greatly. I'll tell you truthfully, we don't have tremendous fights. We should have world record-setting fights, but we really don't. We get along very well, and there's not a lot of disagreement because ultimately Ivana does exactly as I tell her to do.
See, wait a minute.
Maybe chauvinist.
Right, men? Is that right? Huh?
Here's what Ivana shared following her divorce from Donald Trump. Roll the clip.
But she didn't just lose her husband. In the same year, Ivana lost the other most important man in her life when her father died suddenly of a heart attack.
I was a little bit numb, and maybe that helped me also when my father passed away, because it just cannot get any worse. It just has to get better.
You say in the book you thought the divorce perhaps contributed to your father's heart condition.
I just know that my father was devastated, and my father was humiliated because I was his pride and joy in his life. I know that he took it very hard. It just unfortunate it did happen at a time when I did need him most.
How did you compensate for that, Ivana?
You don't.
As for her ex, Donald's new life now includes Marla, baby Tiffany, and reflections on why it is not a good idea to put your wife to work for you. When I interviewed him last year, Donald said he regretted having had Ivana run his Atlantic City casinos and the Plaza Hotel.
I think that was the single greatest cause of what happened to my marriage with Ivana.
If I look at it now, I think it was a terrible idea.
Ivana would get angry at somebody over the telephone all of a sudden who was at the casino. And she'd start shouting. And I'd say, I don't want my wife shouting at somebody like that.
Well, you know, if you go into work and if you have 4,500 employees and the vice president, you cannot be a little pussycat.
There was a great softness to Ivana, and she still has that softness. But during this period of time, she became an executive, not a wife.
Suddenly the whole romance and how evening goes, because you know, you're talking business and you're talking what has to be done and repaired and this, rather than being romantic with each other.
And here's Ivana shortly before her passing, reflecting on her life at that time. Roll the clip.
Do you miss the old life?
The old life?
Life with Donald?
I don't, no. Nothing really changed. I have a beautiful home here. I have a spectacular apartment in Miami. I have a 300-year-old fisherman houses in harbor of the Saint-Tropez. What more can I have?
No, here's an excerpt from the Palm Beach diaries as reported by the Daily Beast. Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's first ex-wife moved within the same elite Palm Beach social circle and even employed member of the same family as staff. Epstein and the Trump did not just share the same exclusive Palm Beach social scene, they also drew from the same pool of household staff. According to the Daily Beast, while Jenny Benasiak worked as Epstein Palm Beach house manager, his wife and stepdaughter secured position with another well-known figure in town, Ivana Trump, Epstein's long-time butler, who served him for over a decade, testified that he lived in staff quarters on Epstein waterfront estate, greeted young women who came to give Epstein massage, and kept stack of cash ready to pay them afterward. His wife, Rudica Ophelia, was also tied to Epstein EI Brayo Way, mentioned through address listed on her driver license and vote registration record. As recently as October 2015, a traffic ticket for Ophelia still listed Epstein property as her residence. Ophelia later worked long-term for Ivana Trump until Ivana sold her Palm Beach home in 2014. That same year, the couple 25-year-old daughter, a Columbia law student, landed a summer job with Ivana as well. Her online resume, found on a professional networking site, include a position title assistant to Miss Ivana Trump from May to July 2014. Gary Lyman, Ivana's attorney, told the Daily Beast that the Romanian student's role was simply to assist Ivana with packing for her move. The connection was through her mother. Lyman explained, nothing that the student mother worked for Ivana while her father worked for Epstein. It remained unclear whether Epstein had any involvement in Ophelia employment with Ivana. Ivana declined to provide further comment. Different question to Lyman, while both Ophelia and Benasaka also declined to respond. Ivana Trump's name appeared in Epstein's infamous Little Black Book, alongside contact detail for Donald Trump, Ivana Trump, Melania Trump, and Trump's younger brother Robert and his ex-wife Blaine. Trump himself once acknowledged his ties to Epstein, telling New York Magazine in 2002, "I have known Jeff for 15 years. Traffic guy. He is lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life." Despite his Ghislaine Maxwell later claim that there was no black book at all, even though its existence is well documented. Here's what she said. Play the clip.
During the time that you were with Mr. Epstein, and even in the 2000s when you were around less frequently, you never observed or you never saw any sort of list or black book or a list of individuals who linked to certain masseuses or
Absolutely
anything
no.
like that?
Absolutely no. There is no list.